Hi, Srinu. Good. Okay, so did you guys completed your practicals? Huh? Did you guys completed practicals? All done? Yes or no? No. Why? Not yet started? Started. So what was your last task that you did? Which is the last task you did? But what you did? You said like it is in progress, right? So where you got? Did you completed increasing the volume sizes and all? That is done, na? So what are you doing now? Oh, PEM file. Except that PEM file, rest everything done? Good. That is good. That exploring topic is, so that will take little bit time. But when you put in internet, you didn't got anything? You didn't hit, huh? No. Oh, you didn't check. Okay. Okay. So I told you one way to remove the root volume, attach it to the additional volume as additional. That is one way. There are multiple ways to retrieve the password if you lost your PEM file. So don't stick with only the solution that I have given. Just go to Google and type. Okay, here. So just try. Okay. So lost PEM file. Recover PEM file. What is it? They don't know. They said they don't know. But you know na how to do it. Did you complete it? You teach them written. Try it out. You have that link, no? Yesterday, when you're increasing the size, you will get Linux and Windows. Click on Linux. In that Linux URL, in the bottom, you have extend the volume. You click on it. Just follow the procedure. If you follow the procedure, if you didn't got it, just let me know. So do you see this here? How do I recover the Windows EC2 if the PEM file is lost? Okay. And do you see how to access? If you just put it like this, guys, come on. Everything is ready. Is there. If I just put first link, second link itself, we have these things. So just go through it. Do you see? How do I recover the Windows EC2 instance? The PEM file is lost. Bye-bye. With the step by step, you have it. With screenshots. You can launch the AMI also, right? So you can use System Manager. So just go through it. It'll be really fun. Okay. Oh, sorry. I'm not sharing the screen. Can you please confirm? Can you see my screen and can you hear me well? There is a question also, sir. When we increase size of the root volume 30 to 50 GB, it's chargeable. It is that only 20 GB. It's very minimum. Very minimum. You just go ahead and that's what. See, I'm telling here. Just go to Google. Just now I said lost or recover. Right? PEM file, AWS. So I just said that. Do you see this? Go how to access AWS EC2 instance if PEM file is lost. How do I recover? See, you have so many links, Babu, right? So you just go through it and then try to think on that. Okay. So we should not, it should not be like this. You have YouTube, this thing also. You should not be like, whatever I'm telling you, you should follow the same process. You should not do like that. You have to think out of the box. Okay. Whatever the task, whatever the hands-on that I'm giving, you're repeating, that is good. On top of it, extra, you need to do, put sharpness to your brain. Okay. By doing, that's the reason why I'm giving this exploring task. Okay. Try it out and then do it. Okay. So what we're going to do today? Load balancer, correct. No. What is that, sir? VPC also inbound, outbound. That meaning, what is that, Tirumala? VPC also inbound, outbound. What is that? VPC also inbound, outbound? Can you please put your question properly? Okay, so let's go and talk about today a load balancer. Okay. Generally, I can directly go ahead and click on load balancer, but let's not do that. First, analyze what we're going to do. Okay. So what are the different types of load balancers we have? 4 types. What are those? Application load balancer, network load balancer, classic load balancer, gateway load balancer, network load balancer. So we have, so which is the load balancer that we should be saying? Application load balancer. We should be using ALB. So before we go and create the load balancer, first of all, we need to go and launch the EC2 instance. Yes or no? Yes, we need to go and minimum how many we launch? We launch 2. We launch 2 EC2 instances. So what we're going to do is we go and launch 2 EC2 instances, and then this is the EC2. And what I'll be doing is this time, guys, I'll be using user data. I'll be using what? User data, I'll be using it. What is user data? Bootstrap scripting. So we are using Linux machines, no? So which is the script that we should be using for Linux? Shell scripting, correct? So what I'll be doing is I'll use a small shell script. What the shell script will do is it will go and install one small Apache web server. And on top of that, we'll put some small index.html file. One simple small application we'll put. Okay. So we'll go and launch the EC2 instance, and inside that we'll go and deploy index.html. Okay. We have index.html. Can I go and launch this EC2 instance in 1A? This in 1B? Yes. So what is the first thing is, guys, here? The first step here is to go and launch EC2 instance, right? Using user data. Now you should know what is user data, no? Should I show you that sample user data that we use? Okay. So guys, this is the user data that we'll be using it. I'm putting it here. Okay. So this is a sample user data. To talk about the user data, we need to have little bit of Linux basis. Okay. For that Linux, have you attending Linux classes? No. Linux classes? Yes or no? Some people yes, some people no. So if you'd have learned the Linux, so guys, everything in the Linux, it is a file. So it is completely directory based structure, correct? In Windows, we have all the GUI. In the Linux is completely command line interface, correct? And then in Linux, basically you need to know about shell. What is that? Shell. Shell is basically, I don't have, okay. You have hardware, first of all, on the machine. On top of it, basically on top of the hardware, you have kernel. Kernel is nothing but your operating system. On top of it, you have the shell. See, hardware. On top of it, you have kernel. And top of it, you have a shell. And top of it, you have the command prompt. This is how it should be. So this is how it looks like. Looks like big Doordarshan. So this is the hardware. On top of it, you have kernel. And top of it, we have shell. And on top of it, we have command prompt. Yes or no, guys? So this is how your Linux, file system or the infra architecture will look like. Okay. So hardware, you know very well, right? The CPU, motherboard, fatherboard, you have all these things there. On top of it, you will be installing operating system. What is kernel? A kernel is nothing but it's a core component of operating system. What is that? Core component of operating system. See, before I go there, right? I have a habit of giving the background of it all the time. So to talk about Linux, I don't know, you might have learned this from the Linux trainer or somewhere, but I'll tell from my side. Unix, is it Unix first or Linux first? Unix first. What is that? Unix. After Unix, we got Linux. So do you understand? Do you know that how we got from Unix? Why we moved to Linux? Do you know anyone? So I'll tell you. The thing is, initially, see, I'll tell you a small chitty story. Okay. Initially, there is a person called Ken Thompson. Who is that? Ken Thompson. Ken Thompson, he's a nice technical guy. Okay, nice technical guy. And he wanted to, he got a nice business proposal. He got a nice business proposal saying that, let's say, for example, I went to Ken Thompson, for example, I'm saying, I went to Ken Thompson and said that, hey, can you design one space war game? What is that? Space war game. Do you know space war games? Then this is games, right? So we go to space and then shoot it. So, okay. So Ken Thompson took that project, and at that time, uh, can you give me a second, guys? Give me a second. Okay, sorry for that. Important call cannot be avoided. Okay. So when you think about important call and cannot be avoided, just imagine from where I have got. Okay. So I was telling Ken Thompson, right? So Ken Thompson, so I need to finish up this part and then I need to jump for concept. Yeah, load balancer. Actually, this is not my topic, Linux topic, but I'm just giving additional knowledge. Okay. So Ken Thompson got the business deal, right? And then he wanted to develop that game. At this time, there are no other operating system except Windows. Initially, what is the operating system we had? Windows only. Windows is all about, and that too, at that time, we had only DOS. Remember? Command prompt. So we not old. Whenever when the laptop or when the operating system was very new, I still remember I was going to the institute and then opening the command prompt and doing stuff. You don't have graphical user interface at all. So single user, single process. If you open the command prompt and you need to create a directory using the commands, remember on those days, that was how the Windows came up initially. So I still remember I was going to this and then I was opening Windows, the big box, and the computer will be like this back. And then we used to connect it and then it is going up and down like this small screen. So that was the initial computer that I was seeing. So late it was only one user, one process. Later they have developed the GUI, one user, multiple process. Only one user can log into the Windows, no? Can multiple user can log into the Windows machine? No, only one user will log into the. So one user and you can open multiple applications in your operating system, correct? One user, multiple process. But this Ken Thompson, the space war game that he want to do it, is it one user or you need to have multiple users? Only one user will play game, multiple users, no. So you'll have multiple users. So multiple people has to log into that machine and they need to play. So, but at that time, operating system was single user, multiple process. But he need multiple user, multiple processes. So, and then he invested time on this, and then he has developed this Unix concept. So, where he has developed the kernel by himself, and then where that operating system, that means that software was giving multi-user and multi-processor system. He has developed some software that's nothing but kernel. Later, what it was, as he has developed and he gave that game to the people, and everything is good. And later, whatever the kernel that they have developed, he wanted to give free for everyone, because those people, olden people, they have good values. So they don't sell it or they don't do business on that. So what he wanted to do is he wanted to share for everyone for free. So he started giving it for free. Everyone started buying it and not buying it. They just took it. They just took the code that he has developed. And what other people did was they took that original code and they started development on their own method. They got the original code. On top of it, they started developing the features. Actually, the main logic got done by the Ken Thompson and team, right? And then when Ken Thompson also, this guy also there, who is the father of C? Dennis Ritchie. And then Ken Thompson, they both worked together, and Dennis Ritchie compiled the code in his C language, and then he made that software portable so that you can take it and install it in InMation. So they got the award also from the president of US. And later they develop like this and make it available for everyone. Once it is available for everyone, and that is for free, no? Windows operating system went down drastically. The business of Microsoft went very bad. All their shares got down because who won? That is payable, no? That is chargeable. Windows, you need to pay for it. It's a license based. So it is our Unix is not license based. So Microsoft Windows got dropped and Unix got up. which is free. And later, many people took that code and they developed by themselves new features. And then what they did was they started giving to the people for money. Initial thought was free, but some people took that free code and they developed on top of it and they started selling. Once they started selling with a lot of money, with more money, again, people moved to Windows. And now Unix came up, Windows also came up. When Unix people has started giving the license base, so Unix little bit came down and Windows was capturing the market. So now this was happening like this. And also people are starting so many features and Unix also going up very nicely. It is very equal, not even more than that. Compared to Windows, Linux is cheaper. The license is cheaper. Later, guys, so the top person with Unix with lot of feature at that time, his name is Andy. Andy Tannenbaum. What is that? Andy Tannenbaum. So his name is Andy T. So he has the code with him with nice features. And all the, all this very scientist, big people, all mental people will be there. We graduated from AT&T labs, universities of US. So those people started developing all these softwares. Okay, finally later, there is a country called Finland, where I worked for many years. I also there. And in Finland, there is a Finland University. So one person, he went there for the studies. He's studying nicely. And in the final year, he need to do some project, no? Like how we do in the project. So final year, he wanted to do project, and that person thought, what is the very good booming stuff in the market now? So and everyone said it is Unix. And what he did was he went to Andy and said, hey, Andy, can you give me the code? I want to do project. And Andy said that, no, Babu, I will not give. So this student, he got hurted and he wanted to do by himself. Whatever the code that he has, he wanted to do himself. And that's the reason why this student took the actual code of Ken Thompson, which is free. He took the code of Ken Thompson and he started developing his own features. Right? And he has developed such a way that whatever the Unix has the features, he is giving more than Unix, which is user-friendly, not difficult, very easy. He started developing his own stuff completely. And then he wanted to follow the values of Ken Thompson, and he gave that software as free to the people. And that student name is Linus Torvalds. Who is that? Linus Torvald. And the software that he has developed is Unix only, but he don't want to call it as Unix anymore. He want to put his own name called Linus. But slowly the Linus has become Linux. That is the actual story behind it. So, and he wanted to give it for free. Later again, Windows came down. And now Linux is capturing the market. And which is free. Linux is free, no? It's free. So, and then what is the Linux logo? Penguin, no? You know how penguin he got? You know why he put as penguin? I'll tell you that. I also know that story. He has developed his entire software operating system and he's relaxed. He's a relaxing mode. Generally, if you want to relax, where do we go? Parka. Beach. Okay. I will go for the beach. But in India, at least in my places, if you go to beach, what I can see, from each beaches, you can see different. In Goa beach, you can see something else. In my beaches, I see dogs. So many dogs just jumping on the beaches, right? There's so many stray dogs are there, street dogs. And this Linus also went for beach, for relaxing. That is US. What he saw so many penguins coming up in the beach. On some seashore, downtown. And then he went and then started patting penguin. Chuchu, buchu, we say, no? Right? So he started painting, hey, penguin, hi, penguin. So penguin might be, I don't know what is the feeling of penguin. He started biting that person. He bit that person. Kurikindi. So if that golden words you should not repeat, Venkata Nagagopi. You should go with flow. Okay. So he bit that penguin bit the person, and then he wanted to have this super feeling to be through the entire world has to discuss on this. So he wanted to remember that super feeling, and he put that penguin as a logo for his operating system. Why he went for beach? Why why penguin has to bit him? And why I should tell you? Why you are learning this? Right? So big people, they have the stories like this, and you have to know. Okay, anyways. So now you understood how the Unix came, Linux came. This is the whole story of the backend. Okay. Okay. Why he saw only penguins? If he saw his girlfriend, he would put his girlfriend name. Phone only, no? Hello, who is hello? Girlfriend, who is that? Grumbles. Yes. If that is invented in our India, we could have called so many names, no? Okay. Okay, anyways. Fine. So guys, I spent a lot of time on this. Okay, see here. So now this is the Linux operating system. Everything in the Linux is based on the directory, right? Everything will start with root. What is that? Everything will start with root. So here, there are so many directories are there. Like, okay, now you tell me in Windows, guys, in Windows, we have C drive. In C drive, where is your user profile created? C users, no? Did you saw any time? You went to C drive, you click C, you go to users, there will be a name with your login user, right? So that is a user. So all the user details will be in the user. All your softwares will be in which place? Program files. All your system information will be in which directory? System 32 and all, correct? So for each and every requirement, there is a folder in the Windows where you can go and navigate. Whereas in Linux, you don't have any navigation. It's not GUI based. It's command based, right? So for that also in Linux, you have different directories like var. What else? /etc, right? /usr, /home, /temp, /bin. There are so many are there, no? For each and every requirement, for each and everything, /var. Let's say all the logs files will be available in /var. Where? What? Log files. Now, let's say Shashi has logged into Windows machine. What is the user that will be created in Windows machine in C users? Shashi. Yes or no, guys? So if you go here in C drive, do you see users here? And say, and I am logging as student or some millennium, something. These are the users only, no? Whoever has logged into your Windows laptop, that user will get created here. That profile will get created, correct? So similarly, when you log into the Linux machines, your own home directory will get created. Yes or no? Your own user profile will get created. In which directory the user profile will get created? Under home. Which directory, Nana? Home. Under home directory, you'll get created. So let's say Shashi has logged in. Where is the directory it get created? /home/Shashi. Now, Tom has logged in. What is his home directory? /home/Tom. Jerry has logged in. /home/Jerry. So whoever has logged in, all the User directories will get home directory will create it under home. Okay, so in temp, that is a temporary. Bin meaning all your softwares will be available in bin. In etc, all your system files will be there, right? In USR, anything related to user. So for each and every directory, there is a specific reason. Okay, so Linux is completely user based. Linux is completely user based. Directory based. What is that? It is directory based. Sorry for that. Okay, now, so if you take this here, architecture, you have hardware, on top of it you have kernel. Kernel, what is kernel? Kernel is a core component of operating system. Operating system meaning it will be a code, no? That code we call it as kernel. Operating system is just a name, but actually which is the code we will get executed. On top of it, you have something called shell. What is that? Shell. Guys, there are so different types of shells available in the market. The first shell that we got we have it is Bourne shell. What is the shell that we have initially? Bourne shell. Later, Bourne shell has only limited features. Later, Bourne shell got developed, and you have something called K shell. We got K shell. We got C shell. We got like this. So many shell came up. And what is the latest shell? We call it as Bash shell. What is the latest shell that we are using? Bash shell. What is it, Nana? Bash shell. And all your shells will be sitting under the bin. All your shell information will be there. Which directory? Bin. Right? Under the bin. Under the bin, okay, this bash shell is also called as born again shell. What is that? Born. Initially, what is the first shell that we got? Born shell. What is the latest shell that you got? Born again shell. And in other words, we call it as bash shell. You can call it bash. So that is represented as bin bash. How we represent? Bin bash. So K shell is represented as bin slash K shell, KSH. C shell is represented as slash bin slash CSH, like this. All the shell information will be in the bin. So we call it as bin bash. So what is our shell now? Bin bash. What is our shell? What does the shell will do? Today, you have the command prompt, no? The black color command prompt. When you log in to that, let's say, can you give me a few examples of few commands in Linux that you use? CP, copy, ls, curl, mkdir, cat, touch, mv, move, next, pwd, rm, what else? Find, ipconfig, ifconfig there, not ifconfig. Grep, nice. Touch sparsa is done. Next. Sed, SED, correct. Tail, head, sort, man command, date, df, disk related, which, right? Echo, su. Enough, no? If you learn this command, this type of commands, that is sufficient. So I have given you a few. Okay, today looks like only Linux class. It's already 7 o'clock. Okay, anyways, let me continue this. Okay. So these are all the commands. When you open the command prompt and just type cp, copy. Now tell me, the request will be taken by whom? The request will go to shell. Shell is like Abba push type. Right? Do you remember that old movie? So that means shell is very shy. Shell is very shy. it cannot, can you see the face of the shell? No, it will be always in the behind. Like, so it will take whatever the, suppose Shashi is giving something, I don't face through the face. Shashi, give me, I'll take it. Right? It's very shy. Shell is very shy. So now, whatever the commands that you are giving, it will go to shell, and shell will send to kernel. Kernel will get some hardware details. Hardware will give it to the kernel, and kernel will get executed the code, and shell will execute, and it will give it to the command prompt. This is how it go, the architecture. So can I say shell is the mediator between command prompt and kernel? You no need to have big definitions. Just by seeing this, we can say kernel. So kernel is the, mediator between shell and hardware. Right? Shell is a mediator between command prompt and kernel. Right? So which is the shell that we are using it? Bash shell. There are so many shells now available. Yes. Which is the latest shell? Bash shell. So now this is how it works basically. So we'll be using this bash shell. And by the way, in Linux is like, it is freely available for everyone, right? What is this big international university people has done is, so we have something called distributions. What is that? Distribution. So there are two types of distribution. Distribution. So one is, we call it as how can I forget that? One is Debian based, RPM based. RPM based, and then Debian based. Right? RPM based, Debian based. Yes. So in RPM based, mostly we have this kind of operating. Guys, Linux is like universal. Linux is universal. It is mostly like ice cream. Linux is like ice cream. You have ice cream. Do you have so many flavors inside it? You have vanilla, butterscotch, strawberry, and chocolate, right? So you have so many flavors. In the Linux also, you have different flavors, right? So here in RPM based, we have, let's say, for example, you have CentOS. We have CentOS. We have Red Hat. So Ubuntu will come in Debian based. Ubuntu, SUSE, all this will come into the Debian based. So we have different distributions, but the ice cream is same, but flavors are different, right? So here in RPM based, the syntax, the difference between RPM based and Debian based is the syntax is different. What is that? Syntax. Let's say, for example, you want to install some software in your RPM based. You want to install some software in RPM based. And now tell me, which is the, guys, which is the AMI that we always use? Which operating system we use? Red Hat. Correct? Red Hat comes under RPM based. Correct? So if you want to install any software or any patch in your operating system, that means Red Hat, you need to use a command called yum. What is that? Yum. Yum install. You need to use yum install. So here you call it as apt-get. APT. Right? We call it as apt-get. What is that? Apt-get. So both will do the same thing. What is that? Both will do the same thing, but syntax difference. Syntax difference. Let's say here, I call it as in Debian, I call it as Apache. In Debian, I call it as Apache. And here the same Apache, I call it as HTTPD. What is this called? HTTP. What is Apache? It's a web server, no? Apache is a web server. So if I want to install Apache in my Red Hat, what is the command from frame it? How to install my Apache in Red Hat? What is the command? Yum install HTTPD. Simple. Yum install HTTPD. Simple. You understood how to install patches, right? So like this, we have different distributions. And it's up to you. In market, mostly we'll use RPM based only. But you have Debian based also, you can use, but syntax will be different. Is it clear, ma? Okay. Now you got little bit information on Linux. I don't want to go deep there because it's not my okay. We have a separate trainer for it. I should not talk more on Linux. Okay. Anyways. So now, do you see this here? This is the script that I'm using it. Now, tell me, can you execute any command without shell? Can you execute any command without shell? Answer is no. So if you want to run any script or any command, first you need to give which information? Shell information. Do you see the first thing? First line is what? Bin bash. That meaning is the shell information only? Yes or no? For the script, if you want to write a shell script, the first thing that what you should give is shell information. So here technically we call it as shebang. What we call? Shebang or shebang or shebang, whichever, however you are comfortable, right? Oh, thank you, Shravani. Okay. So that is called shebang. So now that is the first line. And then we need to install Apache, no? Guys, all your websites will be holding on the web server only, no? Web server is like a container. All your website will be, application will be inside the web server. Okay, na? So now, what is the command to install the Apache in a Red Hat? Yum install httpd. And we say -y. -y is for yes. So that meaning, when you're installing any software in your computer, it will ask, no, hey, are you sure you want to install? Yes, Rabai. Hey, it is taking 100 MB of space. Are you sure you want to install? Yes, Rabai. Hey, it is installing it. There's something else. Do you want? Are yes, Rabai. For everything, yes, yes, yes. But in a command line, it is interactive mode. No. So do you want to press yes, yes for every time? No. That's why we call it as interactive mode -y. Right? -y meaning it will automatically take yes for everything. So can I call it as installing HTTPD service? This is installing HTTP. So once you install HTTP service, you need to start the service, no? Service is installed, but you need to start it. What is the command to start? Service HTTPD start. Service start is same. The service name will change every time. But here, which is the service that we are starting? HTTPD. And what is the command? Service HTTPD start. So this one is to start HTTPD service. And then here we have check config HTTPD on. Check config HTTP on. What is check config HTTPD on? Let's say, for example, I have, I need to write on top. So let's say I have launched one EC2 instance. Okay, ma? I have launched one EC2 instance. Inside this EC2 instance, I have HTTPD service is running. HTTPD service. HTTPD service is running, meaning our website is running. Correct? All of a sudden, you have stopped the EC2 instance. And then you have started. Once you stop and started it, your HTTPD service will start automatically. It will not start unless you go inside the machine and do service HTTP start. The HTTPD service will not start. If HTTPD is not working, your application is working. It's not working. So your application is down. Let's say midnight, someone has stopped the machine. Your application is working. Your application will not work. So that meaning whenever you stop and start the machine, HTTPD should be automatically start, no? Do you go manually and start it? It should go and so somehow you had a maintenance window in midnight. In midnight, will you stay and then start the service? No, whenever the machine is up, automatically the service should start. So for doing that, check config HTTPD on we need to do. What is the command? Check config HTTPD on. So it will auto start HTTPD service. Okay, now. And then we have Okay. And then, so once we install HTTPD, where Linux is all about directories, no? Linux is all about directory. So this Apache will go and sit under etc somewhere. etc Apache somewhere it will sit. So now, or it will sit under var somewhere. You need to keep your application in some directory, no? So that your HTTP will understand, oh, this is my application. This is the website I need to hold. So which is the place where you go and put your application? It is var www HTML. Which is the place? var /var/www /HTML. That is the default directory that HTTPD service will create. Whenever you install HTTPD, automatically this directory is created. But somehow, if the service is not created, you are creating it here. What is the command to create a directory? mkdir, make directory. Make directory var www HTML. So whatever the application that you are putting it, where should you put? You should put it here in var www. So here your application is here. Okay. Now echo. And then in single quotes, we have, hey, this is my first website on EC2. So guys, what echo will do is, whatever the data that you have given under single quotes, and you are given greater than symbol, this symbol is redirection symbol. What is called? We call it as redirect. And also this symbol also create a file. It will create a file. So now whatever in the echo that you have given the command to print echo, that command, that data inside it, you have greater than symbol, var www HTML is a directory which is already created. Yes. Index.html, did we created it? No. So this echo command with greater than symbol will go and create index.html file automatically. Once it is created as index.html file, whatever the data you have in echo will go and sit inside the index.html. Okay. Whatever the echo, whatever the data that you have given, all that data will go and sit inside the index.html. This is a simple application, I'm telling you. Can you, and also you can have big Java application, big Java, .NET application, Python applications. You can have, this is simple thing I'm saying. Guys, if you use double greater than, what is the double greater than represent? It is for append. So don't use double greater than here. You should use only single. Is it clear? Now you all understood what is the script that we'll be using it? Chitti, do you all understood how to use the script? This is the script that we'll be using in our codes. You all understood the script online? Any questions on the script? Okay, so now guys, when you're launching the EC2 instance, this is script where you need to put in user data, where you need to keep user data. So when you're launching the EC2 instance, in the bottom, you'll get user data. No, you take the script and put it and then launch. Once you launch, what will happen? In the boot time, this script will execute. Automatically, all these steps will get executed. That means your HTTPD will be installed automatically. Yes. After that, your index.html will be working automatically. Yes, your application is ready. Simple. So how many EC2 instances that you need to launch? 2 EC2 instances. Guys, I'm just giving one user data sample. User data will be the same all the time? No, it's up to you. How you write. Okay, so I'm writing here launch how many? 2 EC2 instances with user data. So we need to launch 2 EC2 instances. Okay, now I want to access. Okay, now you have installed. Guys, everyone. I have launched 2 EC2 instances with the user data. I need to check whether my website is working or not. Without your website is working, does it make any sense if you go and create a load balancer? No, no. So first you need to make sure that your EC2 instance website is working or not. And how do we check the website is working or not on the EC2 instance? EC2 instance has the public IP? Yes or no? You take that public IP and put it in the browser and you will get that index page. Hey, this is my first website on EC2. Okay. In order to use this, in order to open this application, what is the protocol that we need to enable in security group? What is the protocol that we should use? Protocol I'm saying. What is the protocol? I want to access the application. If I want to access the application, what is the protocol that you should use? HTTP. Why you're saying SSH? Huh? How many times did I told you clearly? Since day one, I'm telling you. SSH is used to log in the EC2 instance. Are we logging into the EC2 instance now? Now what I'm doing, I'm accessing the application. If you're accessing the application, what is the protocol that you should use? HTTP. If you want to log into the Linux EC2 instance, what is the protocol? If you want to log into the Windows EC2 instance, what is the protocol? Okay. Don't forget. Okay. In my class, no mistakes. Okay. Okay, now see here. So that meaning in security group, what protocol that I need to allow? HTTP on port 80. And then what we need to check index.html is working or not by placing EC2 instance public IP on the browser. So once that is working, our EC2 instance application is working. After this, what we need to create? Create a load balancer with the target group. We need to create target group also, na? Yes. Do you understand how to do it, guys? So first we need to launch 2 EC2 instances with user data. So index.html will be there automatically. Yes. After that, what we need to create? We need to create a load balancer. And what is the type of load balancer that we should create? Application load balancer. Application load balancer. Once we create application load balancer, and also you need to create target group. Yes. And what is the target group I give here? AppTG. You can give any name. Okay, na? So now this load balancer will be sending the traffic to this. So if someone, so whenever you create the load balancer, does it give the DNS? How do you access the load balancer? Using DNS name. So when I access the load balancer DNS name, I'll get my index.html page now. Yes. This is how you should be doing it. And also, how does the load balancer will do the monitoring for your application? Using health checks. So we need to configure the health checks. And what is the stated cost that you get? 200. And please keep this in mind. You have this list. You have this load balancer. No, load balancer. Load balancer should listen to the traffic on which protocol? HTTP. Yes or no? All the clients will be connected to the load balancer using what protocol? HTTP. So the listener should be HTTP or HTTPS. Okay. So listeners. So listener should be HTTP on port 80 or HTTPS on port. What is the port number for HTTPS? What is that? 443. Very good. Okay. And now tell me, your load balancer should be, Chite, see here. Your load balancer should be, this is the load balancer, no? Let's imagine I'm the load balancer. And I have EC2 instances here, 2. Now tell me, my load balancer should be internet facing or internal facing? Internet facing. If I'm facing to internet only, then only I can take all the requests. No, if you're putting internal facing, can I take the request? No, I cannot take the request. So the facing should be internet facing. So internet facing meaning public, internal facing meaning private. If you create a load balancer using internal facing, your clients will be connected within the VPC. Can you access it? Yes, within the VPC you can access it because that is private. Clear? Clear? Any questions? So now, do you remember in load balancer, guys? Okay, now can I call this as server 1, server 2? This is server 1 and the bottom one is server 2. Okay, now see here. When we were learning load balancer, we learned also, can we create rules in load balancer? Yes or no? I told that we can create rules. Okay. Now, if anyone is accessing my load balancer directly, my index.html will work? Yes, it will work. Do you remember path-based routing? So if you put a load balancer / something, will it go to index.html? No. Now what we do is, so ELB URL, let's say /admin is there. I need to have, guys, if you put ELB URL, if you put ELB URL, the request will go where? It will go to the load balancer, correct? Simple. But if I put ELB URL /admin, it will go to the load balancer. But will it go to this target group? No, because my admin application is different. So for that, can I do one thing? Can I go and launch server 3 and server 4? Yes or no? And inside that, can I put /admin website? Yes or no? Yes. This is server 3 and this is server 4. So this is the same target group, but different target group. Different target group. And what is the target group? Can I call it as admin TG? Yes. So can I create a rule in here? If someone is coming with /admin, redirect to this target group. Guys, this is bloody real time. Okay. Whatever I did in my company, I'm showing you that. With one load balancer, 2 different applications. You understood? So what we're going to do now, we don't have time. Today I thought to complete load balancer, but somehow you dragged me to Linux. Okay. So anyways, good that you got some little bit of Linux information. That is good. So tomorrow what we do is, we'll go into the practicals on load balancer. Now you got to understand what is how we do and all. So take the screenshot and then analyze this. Tomorrow directly I'll jump to the practicals. First, what we need to create? We need to create 2 EC2 instances with user data. User data is ready. Okay, I'll copy this user data to you guys also. I'll give this user data to you guys. Take this. First, you need to create 2 EC2 instances with the user data. And how do you check whether that is working or not? Take the IP address and then put it in the browser. And before that, we need to add the HTTP protocol in our security group. Once you put the IP address in the browser, if it is working, then go and create the load balancer. While creating the load balancer, you will get all this configuration. What is the listener, internet facing, internal facing, right? And you want to use HTTP 1.1 protocol, 1.2, which version, all this information. And by the way, see here. Chitty, see here. What is the difference between HTTP and HTTPS? Secure, no? Okay. HTTPS is nothing but we need to create certificates. No, we need to have certificates, SSL certificates. Yes or no? We need to have what certificate? SSL certificates, HTTPS certificates. In generally, where do you go and purchase these SSL certificates? You go to GoDaddy, ComeMummy. No, there is no ComeMummy, only GoDaddy only. GoDaddy, HostGator, CA, right? DigiCert, right? You have third-party providers are there. What they do is they will provide the certificates for us. What certificate are those? What certificate are those? HTTPS certificate, or you can call it as SSL certificates. What is that? SSL certificates. But if you want to use HTTPS here, you need to purchase that certificate, no? Yes or no? Is it possible for us to do HTTPS here? No. So you need to purchase that. You need to purchase that. But as we have AWS, do you need to go purchase outside? No. In AWS itself, you can purchase it. And there is a service called ACM, Amazon Certificate Manager. Everyone write down. What is that? ACM, Amazon Certificate Manager. So using ACM, you can go and purchase the certificate in ACM itself. And can you attach that certificate to our load balancer and make our load balancer as HTTPS? Okay. So if you want, sir, I don't know, sir, give me I want practicals on HTTPS. So I'll give my PhonePe number. PhonePe number. So put all your money there. Using that money, I'll purchase the certificate and then I'll show the practicals. I'm just kidding, huh? Don't worry. So how can we add our custom subdomain to Navigator? Yes. Where do you do all this subdomain, domain makeups and all? Which service is that? You have a nasty URL. From nasty URL to nice URL. Which service? Which is a DNS service in AWS? Route 53. What is that? Route 50. Route 50 is the DNS service in AWS, no? So do you need to go and purchase the domain outside? No need. Where do you go and purchase the domain? In Route 53 itself, you can purchase the domain. So once I've already purchased the domain for you. When we go to Route 53, there we go and do the practicals. So this DNS name is the nasty URL, no, that we get it. We'll be using the nasty URL only. When we go to Route 53, there I'll show you how to do the makeup. Okay, subdomains, everything, we can go and create it in Route 53 itself. There is a question from Bhavana. Sir, we are using Freetel right now and it's free for 750 hours, correct? How can we know how many servers, how many hours has been already utilized in a month? So log in with the root account, go to the billing dashboard. On the left side, you have free tier limit or something. Some option is there. Click on it and then which service, it will clearly give a table for you saying that which service is utilized, how much percentage. Let's say snapshot. We have created snapshots, no? 85% utilization is done. Let's say, what else? Data transfer. We have copied from one region to other region, no? Data transfer, you have limit. 85% is done. When any of the feature is 85% is done, you will receive an email. Someone showed me that email. Someone showed me email. Sir, I have got an email, 85% is completed. Right? So if you get that email also, don't worry. No issues at all. Okay? From there, you need to go at it. I have used the default security group and have added SSH. RDP, SSH RDP. I am getting error, but I have created new security that time working. Yeah, no problem, Tirumala. But you will not get any error. There is no way of getting an error, but if something might be wrong, but no matter if you created security group also, no worries. Create it and delete it again. Any other questions? Take the screenshot. Is important. Okay. Super. Can you give the final CC for today? CC with smile. So you don't have practicals today. So please complete your practicals, the leftover practicals by tomorrow. Okay. You should thank me that I have not given practical today. Otherwise, you have a big list again. Someone said here in front of me, Linux shell. They put the face like someone, I saw the face, then I got, they didn't know shell, and then you dragged me to Linux today. Okay, good. So that is all, guys, for today. And I'll see you tomorrow with the practicals on load balancer. Until then, take care. Bye-bye. Have a nice day and good night. See you tomorrow.